As the court pleases, my lord, appearances for the state are still the same.
As the court pleases, Honorable Justice, good morning. I do confirm that the appearance for accused 1 to 4 still remain the same.
As the court pleases, my lord, I confirm the appearances on behalf of accused number 5. As the court pleases.
Yes.
As the court pleases, Honorable Justice, I do like to make some submissions before I proceed with cross-examination if it's necessary with the first one. I did communicate with your secretary about the issue of bail application next week, Thursday. The Honorable DJP requested that the accused number 2 will be the applicant. He'll be brought to court on Thursday next week. I request that it be endorsed on his papers. Unfortunately, we don't know now which court number he will appear, but the advice was that it will be on the ground floor.
Yes.
Furthermore, Honorable Justice, if I may proceed. I just like to set the record straight, Your Lordship, that we are all human beings. We make mistakes. For instance, when I make mistakes, I acknowledge them and apologize. To the witness, if I wanted to stamp my authority when I interpreted to you, it was put to you that when you said to me that I was shouting at you, I didn't mean to shout at you, but I wanted to stamp my authority. Then I apologize for your wrong interpretation for that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
But however, I also didn't like you shaking or pointing a finger at me because I perceived it as a threat.
Okay. I also apologize.
I must stamp my authority as I'm not here to make you comfortable because I'm cross-examining you.
So fanele nami ke ngigcizelela uma ngikubuza ke ngoba ke kufanele nje ukuthi ngikwenziwe comfortable ke ngoba ngithi ngikubuza imibuzo futhi lokho ke ukwenzela bona ke abamangalelwa. I understand.
Honorable Justice, even if I was perceived as if I don't want the court to ask clarity-seeking questions, I apologize for that to the court. But what I wanted to drive home is that the Honorable Court mentioned a week. Me stressing the point using the word, Your Lordship, you mentioned the word weak. I was not meant to undermine the Honorable Court, and I apologize for that. It is my humble submission that if I feel that the rights of the accused are violated, I have the right to raise a point, not say I do disrespect the court, the Honorable Court. With the leave of the court, I may proceed with the cross-examination. Sir,
Yes.
as per my instructions, what made you, what do you think about the point whereby Selotwala offered Kelly Kumalo a holiday trip overseas? What do you make of that?
Wena ke kuwena njena angithi ushilo ukuthi wafika ke laphayana uChico Silothwala wabe esembuza uKelly ke ukuthi akafisi yini ukuthi angahamba ephesheya aye kwiholiday. Wena ke kuwena nje ucabangani ngalokho?
Ayikho into engicabanga angazi. Ukuthi wayiqonda ukuthini.
I don't think anything. I don't know what he meant.
Okay, thank you. What you made of Kelly refusing to open for the police, because Kelly by that time was perceived to be a victim. Why she didn't want to communicate with the police? What do you think about it?
Ucabangani ke ngalo ngesinqumo sika Kelly ke sokuthi wayengafuni ke ukuthi avulele amaphoyisa ukuthi angene ngaphakathi ke ngoba kwangasiyena ke ukuthi ungumsola waye victim ngalesi sikhathi yini ucabangani ngalokho ukuthi wayengafuni ukuthi amaphoyisa awavumela angene?
Ayangazi.
I don't-
Sengayiphendulele ayangazi.
I don't know, maybe she can answer that for herself.
Yeah. Fair answer. I put it to you that when the state mentioned, read the charge, the indictment before the Honorable Court, they mentioned the state mentioned 9mm. But however, when you testified before the court, you talked about a weapon, a firearm with a will.
Ngathi ke kwakufundwa ke lana ke noma sebethweswa kama befundelwa ke amacala abamangalelwa ke la enkantolo insolo ngokumayelana nesibhamu kwakhulunywa nge9mm kodwa wena ke ukhuluma ngesibhamu esinesondo.
Yeah, njengoba ngingasho nasekuqaleni angiyena umuntu mhlawumbe oqepheshe ibhamini mina. So nalo ngisho futhi ukuthi sengathi isibhamu esikanje. Because sebeyibhalela into engayibhalanga wose revolver 30 ban 16 ba. So I think indlela engasho ngakhona because ngathi sengathi isibhamu esineso. So angiyena uqepheshe ibhamini.
I'm not an expert, as I said previously, that I'm not an expert when it comes to firearms. Yes, I mentioned that it's a firearm with a wheel, but then when they wrote about revolvers and also numbers. But as I previously said, that I'm not an expert when it comes to firearms.
It's unfortunate your answer contains only one-sided answer. I asked you about, I said the state case was that a 9mm parabellum was used. You mentioned a firearm with a wheel. You mentioned now a firearm with a written 38 revolver. I put it to you that same weapons you are mentioning, they have a wheel. But however, 9mm parabellum don't have a wheel.
Engikushoyo ke kwena ke nanjengoba usho wena ke ukuthi ne wena wabachazela ngalendlela abachazela ngayo base bebhala ke bona ke ama revolver bebhala ke nabo konke lokho zonke le ibhamu lezo khuluma ngazo zinesondo ke kodwa engikushoyo kwena ke ongakuphendulanga futhi yiloko ukuthi ke uma kufundwa la insolo enkantolo akukhulunywanga ngaleso sibhamu ukhuluma ngaso kukhulunywe nge9mm iparabellum abakhulumanga ngaleso sishoyo wena.
Ingakho nje ngathi ngoba uma ngabuzwa ngingakungaphendwa ngathi sengathi isibhamu enesonto ngokubona kwami.
Sengathi,
Yeah.
okay. Hence
So,
when
bona
they were the ones writing. Hence, when I mentioned it or gave a description of the firearm, I said that it looked like a firearm with a wheel.
The state, under examination in chief, mentioned torso. When they said when you testify that you even lift up the legs of the deceased and put them in the BMW. I put it to you that by the time you took him into the car, unfortunately, our beloved hero had already passed on. What's your comment?
Ngithi kwena ke mina ngalesa sikhathi bese nimfaka ke nimngenise emotweni ngeshwa ke ebeseshonile uthini wena kuloko noma wayeseshonile ngaleso sikhathi nina nimfaka emotweni.
Angazi noma mhlawumbe udokotela ungaphendula yonto because mina angikwazi ukubona umuntu ukuthi ufile noma akafile yini.
I don't know, maybe the doctor can be able to answer that because I am in no position to see whether a person is alive or dead.
You remember you said, we testified that you don't remember the number you were using by that time. I like to put it to you, sir, that it seems as if you have a selective amnesia because you can't tell the court that you don't remember the number you were using that time.
Ushilo ke kubufakazi bakho bathi ke inamba okuyisebenzisa ngalesi sikhathi ke awusayazi noma awusayikhumbuli ke nangizothi kuwena ke ingathi umuntu okhethayo nje noma unento oyikhohlwa ethize ezinye ongayikhohlwa oyikhumbulayo ongayikhumbuli.
Makuyindlela abona ngayo leyo mina ngizazi ngenjalo.
If that's how you view it, but I don't know myself to be like that.
Thank you, Lordship. Let's go to pictures where it shows a cap and a stick. Your Lordship, I apologize for that. Whilst our colleague is busy getting the picture, I just like to inform the court that defense for accused number 5 doesn't feel well, and she doesn't feel well, and she made a request. I don't know whether must I sit down or must I continue so that she can address that request, or must we address it before tea time? Not now. Thank you, Your Lordship. She indicated that she will do it a little bit later, Your Lordship. While he's still looking for the picture, sir, maybe you will be able to answer. That picture, it was depicting a hat and a hockey stick, correct? According to you, you saw that on the picture, the hat and the hockey stick.
Ubonile ukuthi noma kunalesi sithombe ebesikhona ke la bekuvezwe khona isigqoko kanye walking stick as in the crash, the crash.
Yes, the crash. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, there's the picture.
Yebo.
Yes.
So what time precisely, or you can estimate, did you see that cab and the crash?
Kwakubani isikhathi kahle kahle ubona lesi sigqoko kanye nale crash?
Angisikhumbuli isikhathi.
I don't remember the time.
Sorry, Your Lordship. Bless you. Your Honor. Sir, you said there was light there in the kitchen. According to you, there was light. Correct?
Ushilo ukuthi kwakhanya lapha in the kitchen ngokusho kwakho ngithi.
Angikaze ngikusho lo.
I never said that.
Okay. According to you, was there a light or there was no light?
Ngaba ngokusho kwakho ke noma kwakune light on lapha noma yayingekho.
Ngikushilo ngaphambili ukuthi angubhekanga ukuthi angikhumbula ugesi uthi ukhanya noma ungakhanyi in the day, but TV yayidlala.
I mentioned it previously that I can't recall whether the lights were on that day or not, but the TV was on.
We're talking about the kitchen. The TV was not in the kitchen, correct?
Sikhuluma ngekhishi ke angithi iTV ayingekho ekitchen.
Angisakhumbuli noma kwakukhanya noma.
I can't remember whether the light was on or not.
Sir? Yeah, evasive again. I'd like to put it to you that it was going to be impossible for you to be able to identify someone where there is no light.
Ngithi kuwena ke bekuzoba nzima kakhulu ke kuwena ukuthi ubone umuntu uma ngabe kwakungena light
njengoba sengishilo ukuthi angisakhumbuli ukuthi kwakhanya noma kwangakhanya but umuntu ngambona 100% sure.
As I said, that I can't recall whether the light was on or not, but I'm 100% for certain that I saw the person.
I put it to you that whatever happened in that house, it was reactive, meaning that it was not like standstill, it was reactive.
Ngithi kuwena-ke noma yini eyenzeka noma eyayenzeka kuleya ndlu ngaleliya langa-ke kwangasi ukuthi nje kumile kwakunomnyakazo wakukhona kuloko kwakwenzeka kwangenzeki into ukuthi kumile kodwa-ke kwakunomnyakazo kukhona.
Yebo ukunyakazo kukhona kwabakhona ngoba sekungenile abantu ababengenile.
Yes, that or the reactiveness that was there came after the intruders came into the house.
You make it difficult for the court to determine whether what you're saying is true or not, because you're saying you cannot remember if there was light. That's why I'm saying you have a selective amnesia, say. The reason why I'm saying that is if, let's say there's no light and someone walks in and the action is reactive, how will you be able to see the features of that person? A reasonable person will never manage to see the features of that person.
Kwenzeka kanjani-ke ukuthi asithi ngakendlela osho ngayo-ke ukuthi akunalayithi-ke futhi wenza nzima-ke ukuthi inkantolo ibe noma yazi ukuthi kwakwenzekani ukuthi nanje ukuthi awukhumbuli-ke noma i-light yayi-on noma yayingekho on ukuthi asithi i-light ayikho on futhi-ke la kunalo mnyakazo khona kungena umuntu ubona kanjani-ke ukuthi lo muntu lona ukanjena ukanje noma unani ebusweni akana uma usho ngale ndlela usho ngayo.
Ingakho ngithi angibonanga ilathi ukuthi ayikhanya noma ingakhanyi angishongo ukuthi ayikhanya angishongo ukuthi ayingakhanyi. That is why ngithi ngibonanga ilathi ukuthi ayikhanya noma ingakhanyi ngaleso sikhathi.
Hence I said that I didn't see whether the lights were on or not. I never said that it was on.
Never said it was just off.
And I also never said that it was off.
I'll leave that for argument, Your Honor. Because it will, I don't, will stay on it forever. You testify that those people who were within the house, they even assaulted the intruder, one of the intruders, and you also used someone used your crush to assault that person. Correct?
Ushilo nokuthi-ke abanye balabo nanihlezi nabo endlini babeshaya omunye walabo abangena futhi besebenzisa icrush yakho ukumshaya ngayo.
Yebo.
Yes.
According to what you want us to believe, was that person the first person who entered or the second person who entered?
Imuphi-ke kulabo ababili lo owayeshaywa yilo wangena qala noma kwakulo wesibili?
Umuntu owayeshawa yilo wangena kuqala lo wayenza ama-dread umfishane.
The person that was being assaulted was the one who came in first, the short one with the dreadlocks.
So it means that according to your theory you want us to believe, it means you overpowered that person.
Ngokwalokhu-ke ofisa ukuthi-ke sikholelwe-ke noma sikholelwe kona-ke ukuthi wehlulwa-ke loya muntu loyana.
Wayengashawa mina ngithi mina noSenzo besila ngasemnyango kulowo muthi. Yena bekashawa uMakakheli noZandi noKhili.
That person was not being assaulted by myself. I was together with Senzo, with the other guy in the kitchen. So the person who was being assaulted was assaulted by Kelly's mother, and Zandi.
Sir, I put it to you that you make it difficult for yourself, because now I ask you a simple question which requires yes or no. And once you answer like that, there's a question that emanated already from there, which means that we won't finish with you today. And I asked you, I put it to you, that actually it means that if he was assaulted with all sorts of things, it means you overpowered that person, you were in control of that person. You overpowered him. Yes or no?
Angikwazi lokho.
I don't know about that.
And I further put it to you that what you told the court now is not what you said previously. You said you ran to Senzo. You
Yes.
never said you were with Senzo. Am I correct? You said when Senzo was pressing that hand, that guy, according to your theory, you ran to him. You were not with Senzo. I'm not shouting at you. I'm trying to affirm what I'm saying. You were not with Senzo. You ran to him, according to what you said yesterday.
Kwinto oyishilo izolo ubungekho kanye naye uSenzo kodwa ke kokushilo ukuthi wabaleka waya kuSenzo hayi ukuthi wawundawonye naye.
Yebo inhloso yami kwakukuphuma ngithi ngokuthi uSenzo wayesukuma eqala wayelala endoda phambi ngomnyango.
Ah.
Ngake ngimshiye ngase nami ngimlwisa lapho.
My intention was to go out, but seeing that Senzo was at the door together with that man, I could not have left him there. Hence, I then decided to be there with him.
Sir, that's not my question. I asked you, I put it to you that you ran to Senzo. You were not with him, you ran to him. And actually, you even said you punched. You admitted committing an offense. You said you punched him, correct?
Washo ukuthi wamshaya ngesibhakela.
Yes.
Yes.
What if you want us to believe your theory? Punching someone is an assault, correct?
I don't know if that can be correct. There could be all manner of circumstances. Private defense might come in, and over and above that, the witness is really not an expert in legal matters. So I suggest that that question should be overruled, Molo.
I will withdraw the question, Your Lordship.
Yes.
It is correct that there were no bullets found at the scene.
Kuyiqiniso ukuthi azikho inhlamvu ezatholakala lapha kwindawo yesigameko.
Ayangazi ke ngalokho.
I don't know about that.
Angazi ngalokho.
Yes.
I put it to you, as you said, you only saw the head and the crash.
Yes.
A witness testified that next to the head and the crash, there was a bullet projectile. So it means you never saw that bullet projectile. It was not there. I put it to you.
Kunofakazi ke ofakazile ukuthi eduze kwalesiya siqoko naleya crash yakho kunale i-bullet projectile ila le ndawo la ngaphambili ke enhlamvu eyatholakala khona eduze kwalesiya siqoko kanye futhi naleya crash.
Hayi, angikwazi lokho.
I don't know about that.
Sorry, Your Honor, this following question makes me emotional, but let me compose myself. I further put it to you that our late soccer star was shot by one of you in the house. And then
Wadutshulwa ke uSenzo omunye wenu ababephakathi endlini.
Ayangikwazi lokho.
I don't know about that.
Angikwazi lokho.
I don't know that.
you know what? That's a extraordinary, honest answer. You don't know about that. Because now you were alleging that the accused before court are the ones who walked in and shot. Now you don't know about that. You should have, I asked you a simple question. You say you don't know about it. Let's move on.
No. Ukhuluma ngabantu ababesendlini, ayabangena endlini.
What was your answer?
You spoke about people who were inside the house, not the intruders.
Yes, sir. What was your answer?
Yeah, sithini impendulo yakho?
Angiyazi lento ayisho ukuthi kwadubula umuntu osendlini, ngizwa ngayo.
I don't know about what you're saying, that someone in the house shot. I'm hearing it from you.
which door it was used to take his body to the car.
Kwasetshenziswa muphi ke umnyango ukuthi akhishwe la endlini asiwe emotweni?
Kwasebenzisa umnyango wasekitchen.
The kitchen door.
The kitchen door.
Yes.
It is correct that there was no blood in the kitchen door. What you say?
Ngabe kuqiniswa ke ukuthi kwakungenagazi elalikhona noma latholakala kumnyango wasekitchen?
Igazi engalibone lalisedining alikho elinye engalibone.
The only blood that I saw was in the dining room. There's no other blood that I saw.
So you're saying that when you were taking our hero from the way you said he was sitting to the car through the kitchen door, no blood went to the floor.
Ingabe uthi ukusuka la namthatha khona nase niphuma naye ke nimkhipha la ekitchen alikho nje igazi elathonzizela phansi?
Angisho ukuthi alikho angilibonanga because igazi lokuqala ngalibona mangiya kuyena usenzo lapho phansi amadoba ama-spot nyane egazi.
I'm not saying that there wasn't blood, but I didn't see it. The blood that I saw was when I went to Senzo, and then that's where I saw blood next to where he was lying.
I put it to you that you are seeing is selective as well, just like your selective amnesia. How do you see the hockey stick? How do you see the crash, the head, but you don't see the blood?
Uyakhetha ke nala noma ofuna ukubona nongafuna ukubona njengoba ngishilo ke kwena ke ngaphambilini ukuthi noma ukhumbula nje noma ukhohlwa uyakhetha ukhohlwa okuthile noma ukhumbula okuthile.
Ngangeke nginake igazi ngendlela isituation engakhona ngeke ngihambe ngibheke igazi ukuthi likuphi.
The way the situation was, I wasn't going. There's no way that I was going to concentrate on blood and check. There's blood there. There's blood there.
I put it to you, there will be a witness who will come and testify that there was a blood and cans of alcohol. Someone advised them to clean that blood so that when the police come, they cannot see what happened. Someone told them to clean.
Ngizothi kuwena ke kunofakazi ozuza azothi kwakunegazi kwakho futhi ke nalama cans ke otshwala kwase kuba nomuntu obatshelayo ukuthi abaklineke ukuze amaphoyisa angaboni ukuthi kwakwenzekani.
Hayi angikwazi lokho mhlawumbe sekuyoshiwo yena ufakazi.
I don't know about that. Maybe the witness will come and say that.
You said that the head, it was on the floor, looked like a sporty. That's a per location language you use. Is it correct?
Utheke lesasigqoko lesana ngolimi olusebenzisile ukuthi sasibuke ngathi isport.
Angisazi sport.
I don't know about the sporty.
So,
That's scotch.
I refer to a scotch.
I sport.
so then why yesterday or day before you mentioned that with a township language is called sporty?
Is
I don't recall that part of the evidence.
It's fine with me, Your Lordship. I'll reserve it for now because I will still have to put his other statements he made. If I may proceed, I put it to you that spot head belongs to you.
mina ngithi kuwena ke lo sasigqoko esakho.
Hayi. Ngiyaqala ukuzwa lokho.
Am-
Akusona esami leso sigqoko. Ngangasigqokile isigqoko ngifika la.
I'm hearing that for the first time. That hat doesn't belong to me. I wasn't wearing a hat when I arrived here.
Noma ngisigqoka isigqoko angigqoki lezi nje.
Even if I do wear a hat, but those ones, I don't wear them.
Oh, but you do wear a hat.
What
Yes.
is called? Yes.
Through the interpreter, please. It was even taken to DNA, and no DNAs of the accused were found on that hat.
Sorry.
Once more, I think it's incorrect. that question should rather be put to the, to the expert who will be coming to testify, my lord.
Your Lordship, if the state will call that expert, then we'll humbly pray that the question be allowed provisionally.
My lord, the question should not be allowed because it's not correct. As far as the profile that was found on the head, so it's unfair to put an incorrect statement to the witness. The question that my learned friend is putting is incorrect as far as the profile is concerned.
Would this witness be able to answer around issues of DNA? I think you spoke about the head belonging to him, fair enough, but when you go to DNA, how will he be able to handle that question?
Your Lordship, I'm this type of a person who doesn't want to waste time. With the leave of the court, and I do respect the question from the court, this question I will reserve it and withdraw it on this witness.
Yes.
You know, last when you testified, the court asked you a question that when you went out of the room after you hide yourself according to what you want us to believe, where was Kelly? You remember that?
Uyakhumbula umbuzo obubuzwe ke inkantolo ukuthi emuva kokuthi uphumileke kuleli kamera leli ewawucashe kulona wasubuzwa ke ukuthi wayekuphi uKelly usakhumbula?
Noma ngakhumbula ukuthi wayekuphi kodwa base bephume bonke abantu.
Although
Bonke abantu abaninabo endlini lapho.
Although I can't remember where she was, but by that time, everyone that I was with inside the house, they were already out.
No, sir. Maybe you are misunderstanding me. Don't. I'm not saying you must give an answer about where were the people. I'm saying remember that question that was asked by the court. Then you jumped the gun. You anticipated my next question. Just wait for me. Then just after the interpreter interpreted with you with regard to the question that was asked by the court, may you please pause? You remember the court asked you a question that when after you locked yourself inside and Mtogozi is opened for you, because it's going to be impossible that Mtogozi will open for you, whereas you say all of them were outside, they were out of the house. The question is, after you go out of the room, where was Kelly Kumalo? Remember that question?
Uyakhumbula yini ubuzwa umbuzo ukuthi wayekuphi uKelly ngalesikhathi uphuma ekamereni? Uyakhumbula ubuzwa lo mbuzo? Yes.
Thank you, but don't note, please. Ne? Yeah, you must be recorded. You, on that question, your confidential, you answered in confidence that everyone was in the house. Remember that?
Yes.
When you say everyone was in the house, it means you meant Longwe and Togozis, correct? They were also in the house.
Mangabe uthi ke wonke umuntu wayephakathi endlini kusho ukuthi ke naye uLongwe naye uMthokozisi babephakathi endlini nabo.
Umthogo wayekhona endlini.
Mthogo was in the house, yes?
My question was Longwe and Togozis.
Ngibuze ngomLongwe noMthokozisi.
Angimbonanga uLongwe.
I didn't see Longwe.
I put it to that there was no intruders. What happened? The commotion was between the people amongst the people in the house, and a shot got fired. Therefore, Senzo was shot by one of the people in the house.
Ngithi kwena ke abekho abantu abangena endlini kwenzeka phakathi kwalabantu ababekhona endlini kwase ke kuqhuma ke isibhamu wase eshayeka kanganjalo ke uSenzo.
Ngiyakuphika lokho amanga.
I dispute that those are lies.
I put it to that there is a docket 375. A witness will come and testify about it. The defense witness, if needs be, will reach the defense case.
Ngithi kuwena-ke likhona-ke idokodo noma likhona elinye idokodo eliwu-375 uma ngabe sikhona-ke isidingo ukhona ufakazi ozoza azofakaza ngalo.
Hayi, nginankinga ngeze ufakazi.
I have no problem, the witness can come.
Thank you, sir. Which is related to this one incident that happened on that day. It meaning that there are two dockets now for the same incident. There is docket of 636 and the docket of 375.
Lokhu kusho ukuthi-ke ngesehlakalo esisodwa esenzeka noma ngesigameko esisodwa esenzeka ngaleli langa kuleya ndlu kunamadokodo amabili u-636 u-636 leli esiphambi kwalo manje eliphambi kwenkantolo manje kube no-375.
Hayi. Angazi lutho ngamadokodo. Makusho yena ngoba uyazi ngakho inkinga. Uyena wazi ngamina angazi lutho ngamadokodo.
I know nothing about dockets. If you say so, you know better than me.
I put it to you that with regard to this docket before the court, 636, whereby Zamobutle Mbata was charged. The charges against him were withdrawn.
Ngokumayelana naleli-ke idokodo eliphambi kwenkantolo manje eliwu-636 kwakunozamo okuhle Mbatha owaye umsolwa-ke kodwa-ke ase amacala ehoxiswa ngakuyena.
Angangasiza isitori sikanjani.
I heard such a story.
The reason why Zamobutle Mbata was charged, it emanates from the identity kit you made and the identity parade that took place.
Imbangela-ke yokuthi noma isizathu sokuthi-ke aboshwe-ke noma asechajwa uZamokuhle kwakungenxa ye-identity kit enayenza noma owayenza kanye futhi ne-ID parade waya kuyona.
I-ID parade ngayona angikaze ngikhombe umuntu.
I went to an ID parade but I never pointed out anyone.
My question is two-legged. I'm not saying you pointed, I heard you even testify that you never pointed someone, but I'm saying the identity parade took place and you also participated in the identity kit, the one those pictures were shown to you. Zamobutle Mbata was charged based on that, is what I'm telling you.
Ngisho-ke kuwena-ke yebo ngiyazi ukuthi ubufakazile ngaphambilini wathi awuzange ukhombe umuntu khona sengikutshela-ke nje ukuthi yayikhona-ke i-ID parade kanye nesithombe lesi abesidwetshiwe laphayana. Ukuboshwa ukuboshwa kukaZamokuhle kweza emuva kwalokho.
Hayi, ngiyakuzwa.
I hear you.
And the charges were, after some while, charges against him were withdrawn. And it was established that, in fact, he was washing Senzo and Kelly's cars. What's your comment?
Emuva kwesikhathi-ke asehoxiswa-ke amacala ayethweswe wona kwatholakala nokuthi futhi-ke kwakuwumuntu owayegeza imoto kaKelly kanye nekaSenzo.
Ngiyakuzwa lo but angikwazi mina.
I hear that but I don't know. Sorry.
Ukuthi wayegeza imoto zasenza ngikwazi lo.
That he was washing Senzo's cars, I don't know about that.
That's fair. Answer. The defense will also call a witness who will testify that then docket 636 was closed. That is when good officers opened docket 375.
Kwase lase liyavalwa-ke leli emuva kwalokho eliwu-636 kwase kuvulwa leli-ke lesibili eliwu-375.
The purpose being to charge people in the house, including you.
Inhloso yalokho kwakuwukuthi kuchajweke noma kuboshweke abantu ababesendlini nawe-ke ukhona-ke kulabo bantu labo. So
we object against that question. There's no evidence that docket First Lawrence 636 of 10 of 2014 was ever closed. We suggest that maybe that question should be paraphrased, but there's no evidence that it was ever closed.
Your Lordship, I maintain the question because it is put to the witness. The witness, if he doesn't know anything about it, he can say that. If he doesn't have comment, he can say that. The defense will call a witness to that effect. Hence, the question, we humbly request that it be allowed.
Mr. Baloyi?
My Lord, a question must be correct when it's put to a witness. And my Lord, we're saying that that question, the first part, that docket 636 of 10 of 2014 was closed, is not correct. So the witness cannot be expected to comment on a question that is not correct.
Your Lordship, it seems as if the state is testifying from the bar. I am submitting that.
And you?
I'm submitting, we'll call a witness. I'm not testifying. We'll call a witness who will
But
testify.
you are stating a fact.
Yes, the witness will come and testify about it.
And the issue is whether the docket has been closed. I think the issue is about it having been closed. And Mr. Baloyi is saying there is no evidence to the effect that this docket was ever closed. I also remember in this case something being said about the issue around that second docket being put aside to be decided after the conclusion of this current case. That I remember. It happened here, you were here, all of us were here. It was said that the fate of the second docket will be decided after the conclusion of this case. And you are speaking about closing a docket.
Your Lordship, if I may be allowed, I'm saying, with due respect, I'm putting it to the witness that there will be a defense witness who will testify to that effect. Nevertheless, the state, I'll park the question. When the defense witness comes, they will testify to that effect. I'm not talking about closing of 375, Your Lordship. I'm talking about closing of 636. And hence I'm saying our witness will come to testify to that effect. If I may allow to proceed to the next question.
But I'm saying to you, in these proceedings, something was said, I think it was even in writing, that the fate of the second docket will be decided after the conclusion of this current proceedings. You are speaking of closing. That's a contradiction, and that means what you are saying is not true, and that is why he is objecting based on the untruthfulness of that.
Your Lordship, I think, with due respect, Your Lordship is misunderstanding me.
Come again?
We are misunderstanding each other. I'm talking about 375, that the witness will come and testify that they opened it. Now, I'm not saying 636 I'm saying 636 was closed after 375. Your Lordship, when it talks about the decision will be taken after the proceedings of this matter, your Lordship refers to 375. I'm talking about 636 being closed. Then there's a question that will qualify that and answer Your Lordship in that regard.
Mr. Baloyi, are you talking about 636?
Yes, my Lord. I was objecting to the question that was put that case docket 636 of 10 of 2014 was closed at some point, and then 375 1 of 2019 was opened. We objected on the basis that firstly that is not correct, and secondly that there's no such evidence. But I think my learned friend has indicated he wants to move on from this point.
Yes.
As I was saying, and I'll proceed to the next one.
So, Mr. Tobane, so, my lord, as the court was engaging Mr. Tobane, the witness whispered something to me that he wants to prove Mr. Tobane wrong, that he's got unreliable sources. He wants to show the court that ticket that was requested. He just asked me.
No, let's wait about that, yeah. Yes? Mr. Tobane?
Thank you, Your Lordship. I further put it to you. When we are busy with 636 before the Honorable Court, the state informed the court that they are now going to revive 375, despite they previously telling the court that 375 doesn't have merits.
Please, ma'am, once again, that is not correct. The state never says it's reviving 375. As the court has just pointed out, there's a centralization directive by the NDPP to the effect that a decision in respect of 375 will be taken after the finalization of this matter.
You know, Mr. Tobane, you're talking about things that panned out, some of which panned out in my presence here. And now you are coming up with terminology that never got into my understanding, especially reviving. I never had it. I don't know whether maybe given a chance you can go into the record and point us to where the word reviving.
Your Lordship, there was not the word reviving, but what the state said about 375 doesn't need a rocket scientist to see that they are reviving it, because they said it doesn't, earlier, sometimes they said it doesn't have merits. Now when they come out and put a statement to say the decision on it will be taken after this matter, what does it mean? They put life in 375. It means that they are not saying it doesn't have merits anymore. They are not saying that. They are putting life in it to say.
But Mr. Tobane, you should know better than just to throw words. You know, in our situation, words go a long way. And if you insist on a word, it forces us to go into the literal meaning. If the literal meaning doesn't assist, we also go to other means of interpretation. And that is where the problem is. You throw words, and when those words are challenged, you insist on them, and then when you insist on them, later, like what you are doing now, later you say it is your, because I think it is your conclusion that it means what they are describing, it means to you, it means revival. But like I'm saying, you should know better than just throwing words.
I agree with the court. It goes to interpretation. Indeed, it goes into interpretation. 100% agreeing with the Honorable Court.
So you want the witness to answer your question based on your own singular interpretation?
I don't want him to answer it according to what I interpret it. I want him to comment if he knows anything, or if he doesn't know, he doesn't know. If he has a comment, he doesn't have a comment, Your Lordship.
But that question is being objected to specifically because of your choice of words.
But, Your Lordship, with due respect, I still maintain the way I put it. Even though I will agree with the court that I move on from this witness with regard to the question, the state will have those people who will be able to answer this question.
If I can be third of assistance, Exhibit C2 was handed up, my lord. It's a letter from the DPP Johannesburg, dated 13 June 2022, and in paragraph 2 thereof, the DPP says this office did not make any decision or otherwise regarding the case docket First Lawrence Cast 3751 of 2019.
I think when that is why I'm saying to Mr. Tobane, some of it panned out in my presence here in court. Now, I don't know how the word revive fits in with what we have in that letter.
Your Lordship, with due respect to the state prosecutor, is playing with words. There's another letter from the same office. He never read it to the court now. I'm going to read it. I'm looking for it now. And he knows very well about it. That one was issued on the 26th of August.
I'm aware of that letter. Just the letter wherein.
But Your Lordship, I'm still on platform.
Oh, sorry. I was just trying to assist my learned.
Your Lordship,
Okay. As you are doing that, revive means restore to life or consciousness. Yeah, that's what it means. Regain life, consciousness or strength. And the objection was based on your choice of that word.
I think, Your Lordship, we have passed that. I did say I'll move on away from that statement, that question.
Come again?
Your Lordship, I think I did say I'll move away from that question to this witness.
Okay.
The letter dated 26 August.
Yes.
Now, point number 3, which is exhibit AA in brackets 1. As the court even informed us. In the I'm looking at the paragraph number 3. In the light of the fact that decision of Phosphorus 375 1/1/2019 depends on the credibility findings by the trial court in the current trial involving Phosphorus case number 636. I have therefore decided that the decision in Phosphorus 375 in brackets 1/1/2019 will be made at the conclusion of the current trial. That it's not saying it doesn't have merits. It says the decision will be made. It means that they are still looking at it. They are not saying it doesn't have merits now. They've changed their tactic. They are waiting for the credibility findings in this matter.
Still, there's no room for the word revive. Even in that letter, there's nothing that suggests that there will be anything around revival.
But there is anything about the matter not yet decision being taken on it.
Yes.
Yes.
Remember our problem came with the word, you threw in the word revival, and when it's challenged, you run to other analogies.
No, Your Lordship, I'm saying we passed that word revival. We passed that word, that question I put it to him. I accept that I'll put it to the relevant police officers.
That's the problem. We passed it, now you are back justifying why you used it. Because if that be the case, then we would be past these issues, dealing with something else. We passed it, you said you will move away. Now you read this, you are justifying why you used the word revival.
Your Lordship,
It's a strange way of arguing.
with due respect, these two questions, I'll put it to the Honorable Court. I'll state it to the Honorable Court that I'll ask it to the relevant police officers, the relevant witnesses of the state. I'll set them aside.
Which you could have done even before putting it to this one, to this witness. But then I accept that you will ask the questions to the police officers when and if they come. Yes, let's proceed.
Thank you. Sir, I put it to you that there will be a witness who will come and testify that on that night, he could hear a noise as he was very close to the house.
Kunofakazi ke ozoza azothi wezwa umsindo ngoba wayeseduze kakhulu ke nendlu.
Okay, akeze.
Okay, let the witness come to court.
It is amazing, sir, that on the said day of 2014, you left your crashes and ran for cover. Even attempted to jump out of the wind, jump out at the wind, on the window, as you testified. You tried to open the window in order for you to jump out.
Kuyamangalisa ke ukuthi wabaleka ke ngaleli langa kulo nyaka wango-2014 wase ushiya nama crash akho nanjengoba ushilo futhi ukuthi wazama nokuthi uphume ngefastela.
It is correct that you testified to that effect.
Angithi ushilo kanjani?
Yebo.
Yes.
So what stopped you, by the way, I didn't hear you well. What made you not to be able to go out of the window? Say it again.
Angizwanga kahle ke uthi kanje noma konje uthe yini eyakuvimba ukuthi ungaphumi ngefastela?
Bekungamabhakla.
The burglar bars.
You as a person using crutches and you were willing to jump off the window. You were only prevented by the butlers.
Kunjani?
Iwindow lalapha lifishane. Noma wathiwa ngijumpa kufuneka kuzojumpeka because ngangilimele umunwe lo omkhulu onyaweni, hayi unyawo lonke. Ngangilimele la umunwe omkhulu onyaweni.
The window there, it's a very short one, so I would have been able to jump. And it's not that my whole foot was injured, it was only the big toe.
Yesterday you mentioned that you did receive money from Netflix. How much was it?
Malini konje wayithola? Ushilo ukuthi wathola imali Netflix kwakuyimalini?
As a court, please, my lord. I don't know if these issues are really relevant to the current trial and what the purpose is. These are extraneous matters, my lord, that shouldn't be entertained.
Your Lordship, the witness answered the question yesterday. The state should have objected from yesterday, and I further put it that this is facts of the main facts of the matter. We cannot separate them.
Mr. Baloy, the issue of the Netflix and the issue of payment were raised by your witness yesterday. And that is why the cross-examination is touching on that.
Yes, indeed, that is so. The fact that he participated in the making of the documentary and that he handed certain photos to the producers, but my lord, these are collateral issues, and it is my submission that they should be left at that point and not be pursued any further.
Isn't Mr. Tobane saying when that explanation was made, you did not stop it short, you allowed it to unfold? Now it attracted cross-examination from the defense. It's not only now that you are raising the issue of its relevance.
Yes, the point I'm trying to make, my lord, is the witness did answer on that collateral issue, and it should be made to lie there, my lord, and not be pursued any further, my lord.
Mr. Tobane?
Your Lordship, it cannot be left like in that fashion. as I mentioned before, this issue is a fact of the main facts. We cannot separate them. There is a causal link between those issues. Hence, the witness admitted himself that he did receive payment. The question is very easy. How much was the payment? Based on his answer, there will be a follow-up question. Then the matter will be put to rest, as the state wants to, Your Lordship.
Cela ukuphendula kulokho.
May I answer to that?
I think ngizoke ngifonele eDurban nginazo incwadi abangisayinisa zona cause bangitshela before ukuthi uNetflix awukhipha imali for ukuthi uinterview umuntu. Ngabatshela ngathi isikhali sami lesi enzobe ningwestela sona and ithombe zami enidingayo. Manje ngafuni yekelani. Then babuyela back. Ababenganginike mhlawumbe ukuthi kanjani. Nginazo neincwadi engabangisayinisa zona. I think it's Semlazi.
I think there are documents in Umlazi. I'll have to contact someone back home and to get the documentation where I had signed because upon them contacting me, they told me that Netflix doesn't pay you for having an interview with you. And then I said to them, the pictures are mine, it is my spare time. So if you don't want to, just leave it like that. So I think the documents are still there back home.
There you are.
Your Lordship, I'm not sure if I must proceed beyond tea or must we adjourn for tea. Your Lordship? Unless Counsel for accused number 5 may address the court. Because counsel had something to say with regard to the time. Hence, I was asking whether
As the court pleases, my lord, I'll leave it.
Yeah, let's do it after at 1:30.
Right.
I think instead of going through elaborate processes, I will just excuse her forthwith, and we will postpone. She knows the date.
Yes, the 14th of November, my lord.
Yeah.
For the
That's the second.
continuation of the proceedings, the matter is set down from the 14th of November until the 2nd of December.
I think in the meantime you should go.
Thank you, my lord. Thank you.
There's no need, my lord, to warn the witness, Mr. Madlala. The state will arrange that he's here on the 14th.
Has he gone off?
I think he's just in the corridor.
Yeah. If he's around, let him come in. If I may ask, has there been any progress with regard to en bloc placement of this case?
Indeed, my lord, we were told that we can postpone the matter to the 20th of February until, I think, the 30th of March. But unfortunately, counsel is not one of, specifically, counsel for accused number 5 is not available in that period. We have been given the option of postponing it to the second term, and if that would be acceptable, then we can then set it down for 4 weeks in the second term.
Mr. Madlala, we're not proceeding further today. The only bad thing about it is that you will have cross-examination after some time. We are postponing this case to the 14th of November for further hearing. And that is when further cross-examination will happen. It means you have to keep in mind what you said in your evidence in chief. You have to keep in mind what you said answering questions under cross-examination by Mr. Tovane. And you have to know that you are still going to be cross-examined by Advocate Mshololo.
Ngeshwa ke mfethu ukuthi kusuke kuzofanele kumisweke noma icala lizomihlwa ke kuhlehliselwa umuva ke manje kusezoqhubekwa-ke ubuzwa imibuzo ekufanele ukhumbuleke lokho okushilo nkathi ubuzwa imibuzo umshushisi lokho okushilo nkathi ubuzwa imibuzo uyena ummeli osaqhubekayo usezoqhubeka-ke nawe ngeyi-14 zikaNovemba emuva kwakhe-ke u-advocate Msholo naye usezoqhubeka akubuza imibuzo. Siyezwana? I understand, my lord.
And you say it will proceed until what date? The 2nd of December.
Yeah, I just want to remind the court for the endorsement of the accused number 2 that he must be, may they bring him on Thursday, next week Thursday.
Mr. Baloy, are you aware?
Yes, indeed, that has been arranged with the JP for the hearing of the bail application by case number 2 on the 22nd, which is next week Thursday. So his detention warrant can be endorsed accordingly.
What will be the date? Thursday?
22nd of September, my lord. Then we agreed agreed on 9 o'clock. And to be one of the courts on the ground floor, as Mr. Tobani has mentioned.
May the accused rise. This case is postponed for purposes of further hearing with the accused in custody. It's postponed to the 14th of November, 2022. However, accused number 2, Bongani Sandy Sontanzi, shall make an appearance in one of the courtrooms in this courthouse for purposes of launching a bail application. That will be next week, and that will be on the 22nd of September 2022.
Icala lenu bafethu liyahlehiswa-ke kuzoqhutshekwa kulalelo bufakazi ngeyi-14 zikaNovemba kuwona lo nyaka nizogcinwa-ke phakathi esitokisini kuze kube yilelo langa. Kodwa-ke umsolo noma ummangalelo wesibili yena-ke umnumzane uBongani Sandy Sontanzi uzophindeka-ke avele phambi kwenkantolo kuleli viki elizayo ngoLwesine. Kuzobe kungumhla we-22 kuyona le nyanga esikuyona uSeptember evelela ezokwenza sona-ke isicelo sebail. Siyezwana? Understood.
It remains for me also to express my appreciation. We had a tiff with the media for given reasons, and my observation after that tiff is that all was well. Everyone was observing what needed observation, and we should not only condemn when when we feel like we should appreciate when it is due. So I think I owe words of appreciation to the media for the way things went after that tiff we had.
This is.
Guys,